Alright, everything should be up and running. And once again, going to be taking a bit of a break from doing Corsairs of Umbar stuff, and I'm vacationing on my Lobi captain here. Got the quest after finishing up all the Helm's Deep and post-Helm's Deep stuff. Now we've got the quest to go to Dunharrow and check in with Eowyn after basically arranging getting all the citizens, all the people out of Edoras. So we're going to go check in with her and see how things are going, because that's going to be what's going to push us into Western Gondor. And kind of unfortunately, there's not a particularly good or quick way to ride there. You can catch a horse under Harrow, but it's barely faster than just making this quick ride here, because then we have to go all the way up from under Harrow through the twists into Dunharrow, where there's not a stable master. So it's sort of 6 of one, half a dozen the other as far as what the quickest way to get there is. So I'm just going to enjoy the scenery out here for a minute. Sort of ride past all these guys. Don't need to stop and play with wargs or anything. Okay, so here is Under Harrow. And just ride straight through here, and then past all the little camp down here. There's going to be a mountain path with a bunch of switchbacks, and that's where we're going up. So that's going to take us to Dunharrow, where all of the Rohirrim who were basically evacuated from Edoras are staying, the ones that didn't get to Helm's Deep. So that's where we're picking up the story here. And yeah, kind of has those two things slightly out of order, but you know, it is what it is. Ooh, rubber banding on the war steed is not fun. One of the greatest issues it has is that can easily kill you. Lotro's servers just are not made to keep track of anything that moves as fast as a player character on a war steed does. I swear this makes the lag even worse than it is just normal times. Because then you actually get the server lag combined with lag of rubber banding. So let's just hop off the idiot pony and run the rest of the way. Okay, Eowyn, here we are. And I'm going to do Introduction, West Gondor, finish now.
I am glad you have come with such haste.
So this gives us Book 1, Chapter 1, Muster of the Rohirrim. So we're going to check in with all the people around here. And of course, this is Volume 4, Book 1, Chapter 1. I really think that the volume, book, chapter, etc. structure made a lot more sense when back in the day WB Games and Turbine didn't think that it was going to get to quite the extent that it is.
At first light.
Which also I think is why with Corsairs of Umbar they they kind of shifted a little bit away from that and like, okay, no, we're doing Song of Waves and Wind, just kind of like, you know, Gundabad had the dwarf named quest lines rather than the main quest being just book this, book that, which is
Men
good.
are still arriving at Dunharrow from all corners of the mark.
Yep, lots of refugees coming in here and people hiding. Nobody who ended up here wants to fight for the most part.
This road leads to the Drimmerberg. Why would anyone go to that haunted mountain?
Well, we're going to. But then again, we are the PCs, so of course we're going to go to someplace that's haunted.
We are plagued with ill fortune. A child may have followed Aragorn into the paths of the dead. I did not mean for it to go so far. If I bring you to the entrance, will you enter the mountain and search for Elfdag?
Alright, so we're going to go...
I will bring you to the dark door, and I will wait outside for you.
Good choice, kid. So yeah, we're going to go check out the door to the Paths of the Dead here. And then this time around, we get a quick insta-travel.
And the paths beneath the haunted mountain where the dead walk. Few dare to go that way.
All right, and again, this is where, you know, we have the choice of if you're doing this with a full group, you can come in here and do the fellowship difficulty, or we can do the solo. So we're just going to say, yep, I'm here by myself. And we're going to search for Elfdag. Hey, you know what? You got Oathbreakers? I have my own Oathbreaker. So just for this, we're going to go ahead and use the Herald of War rather than the Archer, because it's thematically appropriate. So in this one, we're pretty much just going to be going down the path, taking care of these little mini waves as they come up, and fighting through to the spot where we get to find the NPC we're looking for and carry on. So it's pretty much just run, fight for a little bit here. Oh, you know what I didn't do? And I really meant to. I don't think I actually... Yeah. So something I'm going to have to do at some point in time is this character just leveled past almost all of his traceries on his allies. And I never did stop by Rivendell and buy some new junk leveling traceries. So I will definitely have to do that before too long here. Always just see what I get as far as drops and stuff. I hesitate to pull some of my generic tracery boxes out of shared storage because I do have a whole handful of the kind of just general purple tracery boxes. I'm not really using them on my current characters. So I have all these sealed traceries here, so I've got at least, what, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 of them for chances at actual usable traceries. But they're the non-leveled boxes. So if you open them at level cap, you get level cap traceries. If you open them now, you get cheap traceries. But at the same time, it would get them out of my inventory. So I kind of think I might do that. Let's see. Yep, that's where I need to go. I was trying to take the wrong road out of here. Right, here's an unchecked tunnel. Let's see what we find up ahead. Right now, as I go through these quests here, I will get a few more traceries, I think, from completing them. So I'm going to see what I get here. And then after that, I'll probably just open some of those other boxes, see if I get enough stuff to at least get this guy to have mostly non-out-leveled traceries. Okay, here's Elfdag, who is cowering in the courtyard here. Right, so our job now is to fight off the couple waves of Oathbreakers. If I remember right, I think there's 3 waves. It's not a whole lot. Oh, only 2. We'll speak once we are above ground. Yes. Fine. Silly, silly race of man. Okay, so this takes us back to Dunharrow.
You are not going to tell my grandfather, are you?
Oh yeah, we're getting you in trouble, kid.
You have exceeded your reputation this day.
Okay, so let's see. We have our choice of 3 different armor pieces, different shoulder pieces with different weights, or essences. So this is where the game really started in this level 95 and on to I think 110 or 115 or so. Really started their initial push of gear not having stats inherently or having very minor stats when it was the high level gear. It was all built up via essence slots. And so at the time you would get a lot of this gear, and if you weren't constantly running, daily stuff out of Dol Amroth or whatever else it was that you were doing to get these essences to fill out the gear, you'd end up with a lot of these gear pieces on your characters that technically were good quality, high level, the stuff that was considered, end game or, good level cap gear at the time for most of us. And it was vastly inferior to anything else you could have unless you also were just absolutely grinding tokens and rep and everything else to keep yourself within a supply of essences, because these did not drop often from mobs and there weren't easy ways to get them. So it was just a whole pain.
To travel the paths of the dead, and by that way, come into Gondor.
All right, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to dismiss the Herald and head out to the door of the Pass of the Dead. This is the one where we go through the Pass of the Dead now and actually into Gondor. So I don't think I got a tracery for that one. I got enhancement runes, which I'll have to actually start using. And it's a good time because I just reforged my allies. So enhancement runes are worth using again once I once I get some good traceries in those slots. But I don't think I have any other... Oh, I've got a tracery level 86 box. Let's see what's in that one. At the 4 healing. So probably not something I'm going to use on this character. I think that's the only tracery or tracery box I have right now. Yep. Well, it's worth a shot to see what I got in the box. So that will most likely just get melted for script. Because I don't think at the 4 is even a... yeah. It's not going to be something that's in my current loadout. Let's see. Oh, I do have 2 trade points again. So let's see. I've maxed out bleed. Is there anything else I want in Yellow Line? Turning point giving incoming healing bonus is nice. But I think what I can also get here is start cherry picking a few blue line things. And one of the first really good ones is reversal. At least 1 pointed reversal. Which makes my crits, and notably this is critical events. So not necessarily just critical melee attacks, increase my melee damage by 3%. So reversal is a good solid 2 points spent there. Nice creepy Path of the Dead scenery in here. Buried old city. Technically, there are little nooks and crannies that you can go off and explore in these other areas here. And there's even a deed for getting all of the Paths of the Dead points of interest explored. But really, I just want to get into Western Gondor and keep progressing the story. Okay, so here's the other side of the Pass of the Dead, and this is going to lead out into Western Gondor. So now we're in Blackroot Vale, which is, again, very familiar to anybody who's been going through this area or watching anybody go through this area during the beginning of the Corsairs of Umbar stuff, the kind of pre-Umbar and Shield Isles bits. Whereas in that, you kind of end up in this area before you progress further into new areas out through Tarling's Crown. Now here we're starting in this area and we're going to continue moving south and southeast. So this is our original path through the story, and then we follow it more or less in reverse in the King's Gondor section.
Our lands were once peaceful, but it is now dangerous to travel far from home.
All right, so I will take the quest here, which is basically just a breadcrumb quest taking us into Morlad. which is the town right down the road here. And again, just because of the sheer distances involved, I'm going to hop on the idiot pony and pick up a bit of speed here. I think what I'll try to do also is, at least for a little while, see if I can get some just quest reward traceries or even dropped traceries and fill in what I can by the time I hit 100 or so, and just see what I have filled out. Because inevitably, the way to get good traceries to drop out of boxes or from quest rewards is to buy traceries and spend your ancient script on them, which inevitably leads to you getting them for free. Alright, so we've got 2 quests taking us to Morlot here. We are going to not do roving threats, but this is a really great stable master
These
pickup.
are troublesome times indeed.
If you are a friend of Gondor, welcome to Morlad.
Alright, so strange things have been happening here, so we're going to go help keep down the population of frenzied and maddened wildlife around here. And
Gondor needs your aid.
Gondor needs our aid.
Gondor needs your aid.
Yeah, we're not going to do all the side quests. I'm sorry, dude, but we are not here for that. Let's see, I think, yep, we still don't have any new traceries. I thought one of those quests gave us a tracery, but I think it's at the actual end of the quest. Alright, so now basically just going to head out here and find and kill some wildlife. Even though it specifically says frenzied or maddened, any one of these count, so you don't actually have to do like the maddened ones, which are signatures. You can just do the regular ones. So we're just going to run around slaughtering the wildlife, you know, like you do. And this is one of those where I'm not going to be particularly picky about what I grab, because they're all going to be in this like 96-ish range. So even the signatures are not going to be too terribly much of a jump up from the non-signatures. And of course, I'm a captain, so even with kind of busted allies at the moment, I'm not terribly worried. Oh, and I should be keeping an eye out for ore. And while I'm mining this ore, Pointy can start on that deer over here. Yeah, that's the nice thing, is it's already at 7 of 10. And while I mine, Pointy will start on the bear. Two more, and then we'll be good. Okay, one more critter, and then I'll be able to go back and turn this one in. The knockdown right at the end of their health bar always cracks me up. You could have just given up. You weren't going to win that one. You weren't even going to really influence the outcome of the fight. That was pure spite. Alright, go check back in. Say, yep, I did a little bit of light animal killing for you.
On the wind. Whispers of death.
Whispers of death.
The Hill of Eric has always been an ill-omened place.
Alright, so this is our first intro where we get sent to the Hill of Eric. Let's see, what tracery did we get? Vocal skills healing. I don't know if I've got... Do I have that slotted any place? I don't honestly think I do. Yeah, it's not really one that I would use in this build, so unfortunately, even though it's a teal tracery, it's still going to just kind of get stashed. Which is a bummer, because that means that I am, in fact, 0 for 2 on getting good traceries that I will actually use when I do legitimately need them. But that's how it goes. RNG is harsh and fickle. So if I remember right, I do actually want to cut around this way to get to where I can get up to the summit here. Because a lot of these paths ultimately are too steep, but this one might let me through. Nope, that's going to cut off right there. So I'm going to be smart and just take the route that will actually work rather than being stubborn and trying to, you know, jump around and kind of mountain goat my way there. Yep, speaking of mountain goats, I swear that was not planned. See, if you come around this way, there's the actual road that properly leads up to the summit. And here is the Stone of Eric. Oh, yeah, no big deal. Just, you know, some walking restless dead hanging around the great creepy stone. Totally fine. So as you investigate the disturbed earth, you'll get attacked by like frenzied bears, and I think it's Krebin next. And it's really easy not to see them coming initially and pop both, and then just have a whole swarm of things come down on you like 10 seconds later. Which is honestly kind of funny. Let's see, do I have any good food left on this character, or at least any food I want to use up? 16 vitality, 11 vitality. We're going to use up that 11 vitality food. Not that it will make much of a difference at this level, getting 11 vitality, but it'll be something. Yep, there we go. It is Crevane's second. Man, it has been a while, and I still am kind of remembering the order of some of these things. Not sure whether that is sad or what. Okay, so we heard somebody calling from a little ways down the hill here. Gonna go check in. Okay, Warband, we are going to skip that and check in with Rovalang.
What is your business here?
I feel no shame when I tell you I hid myself. Yeah, it's not a bad thing to bounce away from the army of the dead passing through. Like, you don't actually have to be ashamed of that.
My name is Rovalang, and I'm proud to serve Imrahil, Prince of Dol Amroth.
Alright, so not going to do the interlude. Where this is going to send us next is through Tarling's Crown. Now again, they make the distinct, they say through Tarling's Crown. Tarling's Crown has two pieces. It's got the piece over here, further to the west, which currently is blocked off if you try to go through the road. And then this is also Tarling's Crown, and that's the path we're taking on our route to Dol Amroth. When you come back through here in King's Gondor, you actually can successfully go down the road all the way through Tarling's Crown over here on the western side, because the barricade that's been erected there and is impassable right now has been broken. So I believe there is a stable master in this little spot here that I'm going to just go through and nab real quick. Oh, nope, there's just a milestone. I think maybe there's a stable master in King's Gondor. Which, once again, they kind of blur together at this point a little bit, which is the kind of risk of the reused zones or the coming back through places you were previously, is you start to confuse which version has what. So up ahead, along this road here, I should find a broken wagon, which I believe is my next objective. Here we are.
Take care, traveler. The road here is treacherous. My wagon has succumbed.
Yes, the road may be treacherous, but I'm a player character, so it's fine. Right, so we're going to go further down the road. And again, get some more of that really nice post-Helm's Deep scenery. Nice large open spaces and good vistas that they were really starting to be able to do more of. Although they still really only had like 2 or 3 tree models for each tree type. And you're going to want me to carry stuff back to the wagon, of course.
If you could bring one of these barrels back to my father, I will follow with the other.
Oh, that's right. This isn't a timed carry. This is a you get attacked when you pick it up. Much prefer these. So I think I can hop on my horse and ride the rest of the way back up to deliver the barrel of nails. Nice. Alright, so we're going to deliver one barrel of nails, and the kid is going to deliver the next. And in theory, between those, the wagon will get fixed. We're not going to fix the wagon.
Did you find my boy? Did you find Nethadon?
Yep, he's fine. A little bit of a raider problem. What am I supposed to do with 2 barrels of nails? I need to fix an axle. Well, look, your son's not the brightest. But I'm going to leave you to figure that out, and we're going to head into town. So that should take us through the little mini town here where we're not going to stop and side quest. We're going to go to Calimbell itself. If you do kind of all of the side quests through Morlod and those ones, I believe they bring you also through some of the side quests and side stories in this little town here, which have some cool stories, and I think it might even be the beginning of the J-Jax quests. I'm not 100%. Yeah, Dinab, that's it. But again, not this character, not this run. Oh, I got some cosmetics. I want to see what I actually have on. Okay, so for my war steed, what headpieces do I have? Because I got some new ones not long ago. Best of Azure, Third Age is what I'm using. So White City, I think, is one of my new ones. Just want to see if any of these are cool. Not crazy about the Third Age stuff. Great Alliance is kind of that gray and blue. The White City stuff is neat. Although, actually, I wonder, Great Alliance... I might do the Great Alliance stuff for a little bit, just because, again, this armor piece I picked up is that, like, kind of blue and gray. So, let's do everything else that way. Let's see, accessories, what do we got? Hand. Headpiece of the Dead City. That thing looks so silly. Yep, we'll go again with Great Alliance. Oh. And saddles. Great Alliance. Redguard Elite, that's what I was thinking of. But it doesn't look like that has a whole lot of appearance items or appearances. Alright, there we go. We now have a war steed that somewhat matches our gear, or at least is thematically appropriate. Much better. Sometimes you have to stop and do the silly stuff. Alright, now on to Calimbel. Let's see, there might be a stable master in Lothgabel, but I don't think there is in non-King's Gondor. Yep, looks like we're basically just going to pass straight through here. And if I remember right, unless we stop and do side quests, I don't think there's a whole lot we have to actually do in Calimbel. I think it sends us pretty quickly further on towards Dol Amroth. Lots of memories of Dol Amroth, because for a long time, when you got to Dol Amroth, doing the various, Dol Amroth dailies, like the library and all the Swan Knight stuff, was kind of the thing you had to do as far as activities. Like, that's what there was there to do to get progression in gear. So I remember doing a lot of those for a long time. Alright, so we're going to check in with Galengam outside his shop, which should be off to the right here. And I think it's actually quicker to go out this gate and in the other gate. Just saves you running around and having to do some switchbacks in town.
Welcome to Galengam's divine and delicate drafts, purveyor of remedies and poultices.
Yep, your merchant's going to be a little bit late.
Yours is not the first report I've heard of raiders in Lamadan.
Alright, so we're going to go check out the fields for corsairs and retrieve bundles of goods and such. Yeah, nope, that's enhancement runes. I was hoping that was a tracery, but I thought that was a rune. Actually wonder. Yeah. I have some random crap hanging around in boxes that I can just open on this guy and see what I get. Since I must have gotten them on this character, I'm going to go ahead and not feel bad about claiming them for him. Alright, let's see what we got. Sealed teal tracery, another teal tracery, purple tracery, some ancient script, which I will use, another teal tracery, and some runes. So, Shield of the Dunedain duration, that's going to get melted because, again, not playing yellow line. Single target attack damage, actually, pretty sure that might be one I have on one of my allies. Yep, single target attack damage. So, we'll replace that, and that's going to make that into an active rather than a red border inactive. Noble Mark, buff and debuff potency. And I do actually use Noble Mark, but it's just not that great of a... It's not that great of a tracery, but it's at least something. So do I have something that I can knock out? So bleed pulses I'll keep. Oh, I sure strike damage. Such a high part of my rotation that I want to at least keep that in there. You know, I think I'm actually going to replace Battle Shout damage because that is on a 15-second cooldown and it just increases the base damage. It doesn't increase the knock-on effects. So at least for the moment, put that in its place. And cutting attack damage. So again, improving a bleed. Don't think I have cutting attack damage slotted in any of these. And I don't know that I'd want to give up. I might just give up Rallying Cry healing for the moment. Yeah. Go a little bit more offensive than defensive, which might be good with the landscape difficulty on to improve my outgoing damage. I'm still saving up my runes for when I replace my heraldries, because those are the first things you want to do as far as upgrading your tracery slots, because you get the most bang for the buck out of those. So I'm just going to wait on doing anything there until I have new traceries bought, just to make sure that the slots don't get reset before I pop runes in them. Right, so there should be a nice little mini farm area here with a couple of fields, some farmers that I'm going to follow around while they check crops, and a bunch of Corsairs hanging around. And get 'em, Pointy. Figured it doesn't help to just get a couple of the Corsair kills early.
I am no warrior. If a raiding party does threaten our work, I will be helpless.
And also it clears the area for that guy to start walking, and I don't have to immediately be babysitting him. I can pick up a couple of those bundles here. So I already have 2 of my 3 bundles collected. And there we go. He's picked the 3rd bundle, so that gives me all 3 of them. Now I basically just need to escort him and pick up a couple more Corsair kills along the way. And ideally, he pretty much just keeps moving forward while I kill up ahead of him. There you go. Do your thing. I'll take care of the Corsairs. Alright, and after that, I just need a couple more Corsair kills. Send Pointy after that guy while I mine this node real quick. And one more, and back to town it'll be. Okay, back to our shopkeeper. Let him know we've retrieved some goods for him and protected the farmers. All right, here you go.
These weapons at all. These are weapons of Umbar. These Corsair raiders likely landed at the shore west of here, in Belfalas.
It's again, already this far back in the game, hints of Umbar and all this storyline. So yeah, at this point, we're basically sent all the way down almost into Dol Amroth to scout the place where we think the raiders landed. Let's see, Teal Tracery, what do we get? Routing cry damage. Didn't I just replace something else with routing cry damage with something else? I'm pretty sure I did. So... well, just to use it and get something in there. Put that in place of sure strike damage, just so that there's a tracer equipped. And yeah, again, unless you're doing side quest here, it's basically just quick pop in, do a quick quest to expose a bit of the story, and then head right on down the road. So hit cruise control and just kind of steer for a little bit, because I'm going all the way over here. Got a bit of a ride. I want the right hand fork. Yep. Don't want to go up to the to the tower there. I'm not doing sightseeing. Wave at the Corsairs who pass by. And even though this isn't the stopping point, I am going to swing in here real quick and grab the Stable Master. Just because, again, this can be a useful one to have.
How may I help you, friend?
And I should be able to head back out the... Thought there was another gate on this side of town. No, I'm thinking of the other, city. Wrong nearby town. This one only has the one gate. I was thinking of this town up here. Okay, and I want the right-hand fork. Yes. For the moment, I'm basically just going to ride past those guys, because I don't really need to kill them right now. I just kind of want to get to my next point. And they will eventually give up and get tired of chasing me. Okay. Whoop. Hold something.
If you are a friend, you are welcome to share my watch.
Alright, so we're going to get sent down into the city below to scout some different areas and defeat raiders and collect relics, because this is where the Corsairs landed from. And I regret nothing. So in we go, and this one can be kind of a pain just as far as finding all of the points of interest goes sometimes. So ideally, you get your relics found and your raiders killed ASAP, so that your quest raider is just tracking your POIs. Okay, 2 of 6 relics. I don't think I've seen any of the POIs yet, but I will find them eventually. Pointy, what you doing? You ran all the way back to try and make friends, didn't you? One more relic and I'll be done with that particular treasure hunt. Two more Corsair Raiders and that should be done as well, which should leave just the POIs tracked on my quest radar, which will make this a lot easier to run around and find them. Pointy is so confused as to how he's supposed to get up here and attack. Yes, I know, I'm fighting in an inconvenient spot for you. You're an NPC, I'm not here to serve you. Okay, so that is all of the relics. Now I need to find the tallest tower. And here we go, up the winding steps. And this is as much exploring as you actually need to do. So now I need to find the southern court and the northwest dock. It is funny seeing this particular Corsair model all over the place because all I can think of now is it's Daxamat. I'm just fighting a bunch of Daxamats. Okay, here we go. Here's the southern courtyard. Now I just need the docks, and they're all the way over this way. I think I need the docks that are farther over, but I believe I can get there from here. Because if you just go down here, you can basically curve around the water here and come back up the docks on the other side. I really thought that those running guys were adding into the fight, but they're just running. Now this guy's gonna add. Okay, apparently they just want to keep coming. Okay, now get the heck out of here. And go turn in the bundle of stuff I found. That's not the guy I meant to attack. This place is really easy to accidentally pick up way more mobs than you were expecting. So a lot of time it is easier to just fight the ones that you know you're going to get as you walk past, so that you can fight them when you want them. Okay, should be clear from here on. And go check in with our elf who's up on the ridge here watching.
It always warms the heart to meet a new friend in these dangerous days. I am Lathlorn, and I am proud to count myself among the Avarim.
The Avarim, who will become much more of a plot point later on. So we're going to go meet with Dorthaneth, the leader of the Avarim, who is absolutely in no way, shape, or form, no foreshadowing here, a very much more important character than one would first think in terms of the Tolkien lore and world as a whole. Nope, she's absolutely just totally regular elf out here doing stuff and helping out. Nothing special. Got some Dol Amroth there in the distance. We will get there. That's really my primary goal for today, is get into Dol Amroth and get situated there. Oh, come on, kitty. Stay back. Don't make me kill you. Good kitty. So, if I remember right, the cave I'm looking for is down some cliffs down here, and there's the correct way to get there, which is to find the path that leads down, and it's kind of a little bit hidden and hard to find, and take it down safely. Nice view of those Umbari Corsair ships there. Not at all creepy or foreboding. Or you can just get near the area you want to drop down to and kind of fall your way down the cliff. I mean, we know which way I'm going to do. Okay, so cave mouth, here we go. The cave mouth to the Avarim hideout. Checking to make sure my lantern was on. Actually, I think in here the ambient light is enough, and I'm going to turn it off so that it doesn't wash out the colors, because this is just a really neat looking place. Again, just cool moments of leaving the tunnel and seeing, like, okay, yeah, here's a big cavern that they've totally done up. It is just a neat area. If you intend any harm to Dorthaneth, you will not leave this place alive. Lady, if I intended harm to Dorthaneth, she would kick my ass on her own. I mean, it's nice that you're concerned for her there, but I wouldn't be worried about her. Okay, so here is Dorthaneth. Veiled elf in mourning here.
I am called Dorthaneth, and I have chosen to care for the Arborine.
Okay, so she's pointing us out to, she's pointing Galdor out to us, who is down there. We can go check in with him.
I know your face, for I came to Imladris some months ago and saw you there.
So, again, even at this point, he's warning us of the of people from Umbar, warning about the heirs of Castamere. I don't think he mentions Kindred of the Coin here, but I mean this is all basically just seed laying for what is now current content. But he's basically giving us warnings that bad things are coming out of Umbar with the Corsairs.
Gondor is right to worry. The men of Umbar have not possessed loyalty like this for years.
All right, so she is agreeing that this is problematic.
Go to Dol Amroth and give Lothiriel my warning.
So she's going to send us to Dol Amroth to warn the people there. Yeah, shit's coming you might actually want to start paying attention to. So let's see, what do we get with the tracery box here? Give me a heraldry? No. Routing cry damage. Did I just... Yeah. I just already got one of those and it gave me another one. Womp womp. Well, this is going to get melted right away into Ancient Script. And let's see what the three that are hanging down here are. Got at the 4 healing, vocal skills healing, and shielded. Yeah, all of these I'm just going to go ahead and melt because I'm not going to use them in my redline build. And I'm not going to move into a different build for doing story stuff anytime soon. So those are just going to hang around, and by the time I would use traceries like that in a build, I would have out-leveled these traceries and beyond to higher level ones. Okay, so back out we go. Sadly, there's not a convenient back doorway out. So we run back to the cave entrance. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to keep going up. Because it's not a door that leads out the cave, it's a cave entrance that leads out of the cave. Come on, Stans. Okay, we're going to get a nice look at the... almost run off the cliff. Get a nice look at the Corsair ships here, which are kind of starting to menace the harbor of Dol Amroth there. That's not at all threatening or intimidating. And back up our nice little switchbacks path here. And then we're going to go travel to the entrance of Dol Amroth and present ourselves to the guards. Again, Dol Amroth, such a cool city. Minas Tirith is like a very signature site and is very impressive and all that. You know, it's a landmark city in the world, but Dol Amroth has style. Plus, it does not lag nearly as bad as Minas Tirith does. Because frankly, I will do almost anything I can to avoid spending much time in Minas Tirith. Okay, you have come to the entrance to the docks of Dol Amroth. Oh, guess the hound gave up really quick. Alright, so we check in with the door guard.
Bolton, speak your business, stranger.
Alright, so we may pass into the city. And we need to head to the Great Hall. So even though we're all the way down here, and it technically is an entrance to the city, I am going to pop out and up here and go back in this gate over here for a couple reasons. One, it is an easier and more direct path to get to the Great Hall by going in through this gate and taking that turn. But also, this lets me stop and pick up the stable master who is inside this gate. So for this purpose here, first time in and all that, it is actually much more useful to make your entrance into the city through this gate here. And we are not going to get sidetracked by side quests. So stable master's right over here. Just stop and pick that up real quick.
How may I help you, friend?
Now with that grabbed, it's safe to head to the Great Hall. And when they say Great Hall, they're not implying it's something small. This is a Great Hall. So, Court of the Prince, they're referring to Prince Imrahil here. All right, so Lothariel, who has a slightly elvish appearance, as they say.
What brings you to Dol Amroth, adventurer?
All right, so we pass on Dorthanel's warning that Umbar needs to be taken seriously.
I do not know much about the people of Umbar.
So again, we've warned them about the Scourge, we've warned them about the heirs of Castamere. All of these things will absolutely come into play down the road in the story. But for now, we're going to go learn about the Corsairs and their masters in the library. And again, what this kind of did is that at this point, when this was new, this was kind of the quest line that was your breadcrumb into Dol Amroth and kind of had you go around the city checking in with the few places that were going to become where you spent a lot of your time for a while. So, check in with the throne room. Now it's going to have us check in with the library. Library was where you did a lot of stuff back when this was level cap bits. Because if I remember right, this is when this was on the way to raising the level cap from 95 to 100. And I hate navigating this library when you actually have to wander through and find everybody to talk to.
The scholars here are at your disposal, of course.
Alright, so now we need to find 3 specific scholars in here and learn about Gondor, Umbar, and Prince Imrahil. And they're all scattered throughout the library here. So basically it's just like, hey, wander through and find, there we go, here's a quest ring.
I will tell you what I can about our kingdom. There is much of which I might speak.
So much lore. Which we appreciate, just not now. I'll go ahead and enjoy the vibe without reading every single one of the words. And so one of them, remember right, is in a weird little tucked off area.
Across the Bay of Belfalas, the harbor of Umbar provides the mooring for many ships.
So all of this stuff here, very relevant for current content. Okay, and I need one more scholar. And yeah, need to go all the way over to the other side, I believe. Oh, nope, that's where I came in. So I have clearly missed one, because that takes me back to the beginning. See, there's always one that is tucked away, and I never remember which one it is that I missed. Where are you? Oh yeah, there's the entire second level, and this one I think is up here towards the center on one of the other platforms. Just kind of like hiding amongst the books. So I think I want this way. So I don't think they're in this main central room. I think they're on the other side on one of the little side platforms among the bookshelves. themselves. There we go. Again, hate navigating the library. The place is a dang maze.
Eomer is well loved by the people, but his daughter Lothiriel is untested and unproven.
Right there we get our gossip about the royal family, and back down we go. There's my dude. There's my dude.
I see that Noseth spoke to you of Lothiriel's betrothal. I should have counseled restraint.
Yes, and one of the other things there is that, yeah, this is this is Boromir's was to be. You decide not to tell the earnest archivist that you know Boromir will never wed Lothiriel, but the young ruler of the city should be told the fate of her intended. Yeah, we get to go. I think this is where we get to deliver a bit of news. Because again, at this point in the story, it's really not long chronologically after Boromir gets a terminal case of arrow poisoning. So that news clearly has not reached Dol Amroth yet. All right, Lothiriel. Do you want the bad news or the bad news? Or the good news or the bad
You have
news?
returned. Why do you appear so sorrowful? What is wrong?
There's no easy way to give such tidings as you have of Boromir, but you do the best you can and tell Lothiriel that he fell in battle, protecting those who could not protect themselves. So she's kind of conflicted with that and does not know how to feel.
I will grieve at another time. For now, I must be strong.
All right, so she's going to send us to talk to the beacon of Amon Lantir, which is east of the city. Oh, can't go out to that map I want. I'll be able to when I'm outside of town here. And let's see. Tracery, what did you give me? Sure strike damage. So one of the ones that I wanted to keep in my old allies. So what do I have that I can definitely take out of these? Because I do want sure strike back. Because that is just a really useful tracery. So cutting attack, probably the noble mark buff and debuff potency. We're just going to slide that into that spot. There we go. Because I use the damage portion of Sure Strike way more than the Noble Mark's debuff is going to help me. Alright, so now I need to go all the way back up here to the town that I stopped in and got the Stable Master for. See, planning ahead. And head to the beacon that's outside of town there and recall one of the Swan Knights. I wonder, does it just let you buy stuff? So it is level 100. Oh, that's the roving threat quartermaster, isn't it? Oh, wow. Is this actually like... Are these the old allies? Oh, because they're bartering for figments. I'm into figment stuff, not the Gondor currency. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. For a second, I was wondering if it was actually letting me barter Dol Amroth currency for the old, like the sealed LIs, because this is one of the only ways you can get these appearances still. Yeah, that's the roving threat quartermaster. I thought it was one of the DA quartermasters. So I'm really curious. I've got a ton of Dol Amroth currency just kind of stashed. And I'm wondering if I can actually just pull it out and use it to buy this guy some gear.
These are troublesome times indeed.
Okay, so I can go from here to Callumbill, Morlot, or Tadrint. I think Tadrint is... Yeah, Tadrint is over there. Probably it's still quicker, I think.
These are troublesome times indeed.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to check the Dol Amroth vendors and just see, like, are there actual reputation levels that I need to get to, or is it just straight up acquisition of currency? Because I've got so many of those things stashed at this point. I'd love to get rid of some of them. Okay, don't think there's a stable master here. I'll just double check.
Gondor needs your aid.
Yep, no such luck. Okay. But taking the horse out of Minas Tirith to basically be right down the road from where I want to go, rather than the curvy run around, still probably quicker. Just so long as I don't do something silly like, you know, break my horse's leg and slow myself down when I don't need to. Or get distracted and, you know, try and stop for ore nodes, which I'm not going to do that. On a mission, I want to get this taken care of so that I have Dol Amroth, like, properly unlocked and settled in. Okay, here we go. So outside of the other gate in here, yep, Ostlond here. I don't think there's a stable in here, which is kind of a bummer. Yep, just a milestone. But finished up an explorer deed by discovering Ostlond here, which is nice. So now, up here is the beacon I'm looking for. I'm going to go find myself the Swan Knight who's guarding it.
I will return, but there is something I must tell you first. We are under attack.
Of course we're under attack. Alright, so the Corsairs had already attacked here once, and then they came back. Alright, Corsair Raiders are defeated. And so now we need to go to the next beacon over, which is all the way back this way. And talk to our other Swan Knight so that we can get our 2 for 2. I don't think there's a good shortcut here. Yeah, because it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. So this is one to basically just mount up and go. Just want to keep making sure that I'm not taking the wrong forks at any of these roads. Because I only like 75% remember where I am in here. It's been a little while. Okay, I believe that is my beacon up ahead there, if I remember right. So I should be able to get up there from this path that is leading up here from the right-hand side. No, we're ignoring the warband, thank you very much. And trying not to get attacked by wildlife, because that is just going to slow you down. Hey, Aubrey. Let me just make sure I'm safe here. Welcome in everybody who came along with Aubrey. What were you up to today? Are you recovered from the charity stream? Let's see. Can I type today? I'm not surprised. That was a heck of a job that you were doing, managing all that and playing. So it was unfortunately I didn't get to catch all of it, but it was fun hanging around for what I caught. So I am taking a break from doing the Corsairs of Umbar stuff that I normally do, the level 150, because honestly, right now, it's kind of sitting around and a lot of waiting for us to get new things to do. So to keep myself from just burning out and doing the same things over and over and over again, I came back to my captain, who is almost level 100. He's sitting at 99 now. And I'm going through, I finished up Helm's Deep, and now I'm doing the Gondor, the lead-in through Western Gondor and Dol Amroth, which is kind of cool because this is all the story stuff that then later on becomes relevant in Corsairs of Umbar. So it's neat going through here and seeing all the little story bits that they were planting as they were doing even this far back. Alright, I apparently clearly did not come to the right beacon. This is what happens when Stans gets distracted. Yeah, it's actually really cool when they announced Corsairs of Umbar, a lot of us who had played through this part of it a lot, like all this Western Gondor storyline and Dol Amroth and the J-Jax storyline out here, just kind of through all of the like the Blackroot Vale, Calimbel, like all of this area here. That was the first thought that a lot of us had was, wait a minute, are you picking up storylines from like a decade ago and carrying them on now? And it turns out that, yeah, a lot of what they did in Corsairs of Umbar is a whole bunch of direct callbacks to this like level 95 to 100 stuff. All right, which beacon? Oh, because I need to find him down below the beacon, not at the beacon, even though it says by the beacon. Sigh. He's down here. He's not at the beacon. All right, SWAT night number 2. What do you got for me?
I will return, but know this. I think a foe hides atop the hill of the beacon.
Yeah, I know. I was just up there killing dudes. I swear, you guys. Okay, now I'll go back up to the beacon, now that I am approved to be at the beacon. And we'll get to move the quest forward. Okay, here we go. Now I can officially find the people I'm here to kill. Because before, taking Corsair Raiders out was not important. Now apparently it is. Which, you know, perils of linear quest design. Sometimes you just have that thing of doing things out of order. There we go, there's our Corsair leader. And I was realizing when I started the stream that I do still have landscape difficulty turned on and allies that I reforged, and I have out-leveled a lot of the traceries that I'm using, so I kind of hurt myself just a little bit in the performance department there, but I'm muddling through. Okay, so now back to Rovalang in the Blackroot. Oh, he respawned again already? Come on. Okay. But yeah, one of the perils of leveling and reforging your LIs is sometimes you end up with every single one of your traceries going red when you're out in the world. And that can be a bit of an oops, because all of a sudden you lose every single stat from those. Like, you don't just lose the secondary stats, you lose the secondary stats and the primary effects. So Rovalang, I think, is up towards... Yep, he's back up at the Stone of Eric. So let's see if I can abuse my poor elk. Haha. Sorry, elk, but your sacrifice was in vain. And because this is a good ways out, I'm just going to use the idiot pony to make it quicker. And big old long ride, but I should be able to get to Calimbel and then grab a horse from there to shortcut some of this travel. And again, I do still have a real soft spot for these zones in this area in the game, even though taking multiple characters back through them in reverse order in King's Gondor for Corsairs of Umbar definitely got to be a little bit old and repetitive. I played a lot of Lotro back when this area was basically kind of your end game, when this was level cap stuff and it was hanging out in Dol Amroth, just, you know, running dailies and goofing off was really all you had to do. So I have a lot of memories of that time period in the game, and these were the zones that everybody was in at the time, so it's a nostalgia factor if nothing else. Okay. Oops, I want the other gate for the stable master. Callum has a weird design where there are 2 gates on this side of town, and depending on what you're looking for, that gate over there that I went to first is the quest gate, because there are multiple quests that involve a person whose shop is right inside that gate. This gate here is the gate that passes through town and has the stable master.
Needs your aid.
So I'm just going to ride to Morlod because that is really close to the Stone of Eric, and I don't have to ride all the way through the Vale and take all that time. Nice, quick little cheating shortcut. Because taking that stable master leads me right to where I can basically see the Stone of Eric if it wasn't the same color as the night sky. And just skip past the bear. Don't mind me, just a dwarf out for a ride in the middle of the night in the dangerous woods. Everything is fine. And it is nighttime when I'm back here, which means that the Restless Dead are out, all the Oathbreakers. So in this area here, the Hill of Eric, they only show up when the zone is actually in nighttime. They don't show up during the daytime in the zone. So anything you get that you have to find or kill Restless Dead in this area, if the map is telling you that you can find them around the Stone of Eric, like this little area here, but there's nothing spawned, and that can happen on some quests, you can actually find them up in the area leading into Paths of the Dead. Just depending on what time of day you're here. The map for the quest tracker that's going to show you, like, hey, go here to do stuff, is not smart enough to update for the time of day. So it can mess you up on a few of the quests out here.
I will return to the city, but I cannot abandon the Blackroot Vale just yet.
All right, so that is my third Swan Knight recruited back to the city.
I can see it in your eye.
But he wants one more thing. We got to go do the Shadow in Morthond.
It is my duty to face this creature. We will face it together. A great beast flew off the mountain.
I forgot about
Now
this
I
one.
fear a creature of much evil stalks
Let's
the
see.
Blackroot Vale.
Runes and runes. Yep. Okay, so no good chance to replace any more old traceries. If I remember right, this guy does hit pretty hard. Oh, but because this is a private encounter, it technically counts as an instance, so it's turned my landscape difficulty off. Oh well. So I think at this point, the only real way that I can mess this up is if I screw up the stealth segment. And I have done that before, many times. There is a piece of this that they'll tell you not to be seen. And I have absolutely just run straight past and gotten mauled. And everybody knows that when you're playing a captain, your herald or your archer is really actually the star of the show, and I'm just kind of here to make him look good. So he's going to be the one who's going to carry us here. And okay, yeah, that's not a great beast or a terrible steed. Yeah. Nope. So this is the part where technically you can screw this up if you actually get yourself seen by the terrible steed before you come around here. Don't mind us, just passing through. A couple of dwarfs and a swan knight on the way to the Pass of the Dead. And, of course, it's a ring wraith. I think I have... Yep, I got some hope tokens. Just going to take care of that dread to make that go away. No, I think you will find that we can go wherever the heck we want, dude. So, if I remember right, we fight him and the Mount in this one. We just need to wait for him to be done being annoyed with us. Yep, here's the terrible steed. There we go, chase the terrible steed off, and now we just have this guy. If you don't take care of the terrible steed, he will basically sit there and lob damage at you for a while. So that chased him off for a little bit. Do I have potions? I think I have potions. Yes, I do. There we go. The heck was that? Oh, let's... Right, Rovalang, can we, There's got a wasp in the room here. We finish now and travel. I need to see what the heck that was that just landed on me. Oh, that's comforting. I'll have to figure out what it is. That it is the season that the paper wasps like to try and come inside when the temperature starts swinging around. And I heard one earlier and never did find it. So I really hope that that was not that, but we'll see. Right, minor panic attack done. Okay, so we have driven off the Nazgul.
But I will not speak it.
Alright, so we're going to go back to Dol Amroth and tell Ethereal that we've got all her Swan Knights gathered. And it's actually just going to be faster to mount up here and go back to Morlod. And ride to Dol Amroth from there on the steed, rather than riding all the way back, because that's a pain, and the Vale is a big, big place. If you don't have to ride the whole length of it, I definitely recommend avoiding it. All right, let's see if I can avoid breaking my horse's leg here. Or picking up a spare mountain lion on my way into town. Because that's just rude, bringing a mountain lion into town. Okay. Stable master here. Can I go straight to Dol Amroth? Yes, I can. Excellent. And the number of times in these towns along here, in these zones in general, where you hear the very same, like exact same voice actor and delivery, Gondor needs your aid, from the various kind of nameless NPCs, it happens a few times. You hear that a lot here. Okay, back to the Great Hall in Dol Amroth. Again, love this place. And check in with Lothariel and tell her, all right, I might have just brought you bad news, but I went and found your Swan Knights for you, so hopefully that makes up for it.
My Swan Knights have returned, and I thank you. But what is on your mind?
Oh, just a Nazgul hanging out in the Blackroot Vale. It's no biggie. Nothing to really be worried about. You've got the Corsairs and everything. So again, armor that I'm not going to use because I'm not going to go about gathering essences at this level.
Is unavoidable.
So again, more of the Corsair storyline. Right, come on, unlag. There we go. So that starts Book 2, Chapter 1, Ships of Gondor, where we get sent to... oh boy, Dol Amroth is laggy today. Unfreeze, please. I'd like to move. So this starts Book 2, Chapter 1, where we're going to go check in with the captains at the wharf to basically, again, on our way in, we saw that the ships in the harbor, like the Corsairs have ships that are basically blockading the Dol Amroth harbor, and so now we're starting to look and see, like, okay, what is the Dol Amroth fleet like, and can we actually, can they actually do anything against the Corsair ships, or are things already bad? But I've already done my I've done my 2 hours, and I am good for the moment, especially because I am hellaciously sleep deprived. So let's see who is on and playing that we can raid out to. Who is playing Lotro? Oh, cool. Lay is still on and playing. He normally doesn't go this late, at least not that I see, but let's bounce over and say hi to Larian.